Folks, it never fails to blow my mind just how hypocritical the left is when it comes to just about every social issue, right? Now, I've covered things in the past, such as, these claims of the social justice warriors, the far left woke activists, and how much they care for black lives. And then they even created an entire industry around it. Damn, a movement. They created an industry, a business, a booming business at that, around Black Lives Mattering. And yet, when it came to the 99% of black lives that were being taken within certain neighborhoods, there was no BLM protester. Nobody showed up there. Nobody showed up in Chicago on the south side. Nobody showed up in East Oakland. It's interesting that nobody showed up with any of that $90 million they made in a single summer to Baltimore, Memphis. But they did show up when it was convenient and when it would feed their pockets, when they could have a photo op and it fed their narrative. So I've spoken on things like that. The hypocrisy within, oh, we care until it's time to actually care. I've spoken on issues such as, in New York, when Daniel Penny, this so-called villainous white man, takes the life of a black man on a train, when in reality, this man was a hero. And these were the words of the women that were on the train that day, black and brown women who were fearing for their lives and were so thankful that there was a Daniel Penny. And so there's outrage when it comes to this situation. But then when a woman is literally burnt alive on a subway by an illegal immigrant, radio silence. Radio silence. I call this selective outrage. And it's such a disgusting display when you see this at the highest levels of politics. And we just recently saw that within the passing of a bill. And I thank God Almighty that this bill passed. But the fact that we even had to have a bill like this to begin with shows how much insanity we have allowed. And all of us have allowed it, right? We became the silent majority. We were afraid to get canceled. And so we kind of shut up. We're afraid to get bullied. We wanted to be nice or empathetic or whatever it is. And we let the lunatics begin to take over the asylum. So there's a bill passed. I believe it is the Riley Gaines bill. Now, Riley Gaines is a young lady. She was a collegiate swimmer, championship level, I guess, NAACP, NCAA level swimmer. And essentially, there was a boy posing to be a girl who came onto their team, Leah Thomas. Now, some, whatever delusion you live in, want to say, no, that was a girl. But it was a dude not too long ago, and it's still a dude now, with the Jangalang. And so this dude was basically in their locker rooms and just a part of their team. Now, here's the thing about that, is these young women or girls, at my age now, they're damn near girls, 18, 19 years old, right? These girls are now sharing a locker room with the dude, no consent. Right? None of them signed any paperwork to say we're okay with this, etc. Instead, this woke agenda pushed that upon them. And so it became a problem. And these girls also started losing matches to these boys. Now, I don't know if Riley was on the same team as Leah, like specifically. I think that was the case. And then she was now getting beaten basically by somebody in her own school, or everybody was getting beaten by, this certain individual. But the point is, we had to create a piece of legislation that then protected young girls from having to have boys literally in their locker room. Like me, as a father of a young athlete, a young girl who is competing in sports, my number one concern is her safety. Simple. That means her physical safety. That means her emotional safety, mental safety, right? So if I know that there is a dude who is sharing a locker room with her, a bathroom, that's an immediate red flag. That's an issue off the bat. There's no question about that. And yet, where were the feminists? Where were the activists who stood up for women's rights? Where was the left? Oh, I'll tell you where the left was. The left was defending this young man's quote unquote right to be in that bathroom without consent, fully stripped nude, in front of those young girls and vice versa. That's where the left is. So I said my first concern is physical safety. So when it comes to the sport itself, okay, some of these are contact sports. Is my baby girl going to get hurt? Now, if you hurt my girl, now we got another issue there. And where was the left on that issue? These young girls being hurt, literally. I mean, imagine being in wrestling. Imagine even being in field hockey, something like that. They can get real physical in some of these sports. Imagine being in boxing, which we saw in the Olympics, and getting punched in the face so hard, it stops the entire match. The biological girl's on the floor holding her face, crying, like never been hit that hard in her entire life because it's a dude that she's fighting. Where is the left on that? Well, I'll tell you where the left is. The left is defending the one who smashed her in the damn noggin. That's where the left is. And that's where the hell they left me at, because I was cool with this for a long time. Like, yes, of course, people, okay, yes, y'all can get married, alphabet folks. Okay. If you want to do that, then that's your thing. All right. And then it became, also, we want to be able to, chop our joint off and let that be okay. And I'm like, that sounds pretty strange, but I'm not going to stop you from doing it. I don't know why you would want to. That sounds a little mentally unstable. You might want to get that checked. However, if that's what you're going to do, that's what you're going to do. Then they pushed it to, well, actually also, yeah, we're going to do it to the kids. And now you got me all the way fucked up. Yeah. Now it's a problem. Now it's a problem. And it doesn't even have to be my child. It can be anybody's child. I have that old school mentality where a child is the community's child. This is the village. The village's job is to take care of these babies. So you have stepped over that line, that threshold where I said, okay, first it was, just affecting you, but now you're encroaching into our space. Kind of like, they talk about drug use, right? Okay, you're going to indulge. All right. Do your grown folk thing. Oh, now you're going to do what? You're going to commit crimes because of that? And then you're going to want justification because you're on the dope? No. That's what we're not going to do. You're going to start violating folks because you're on one? No. You're going to suffer the consequences. That's what you're going to do. And so that's what really gets me going. I'm a hopeful, I'm an optimistic guy at my core, and I always will be that because I genuinely see the good. But in order to get to the good, we have to address the lunacy and the idiocracy and the hypocrisy. And that's the thing that irks me. I despise a liar and I hate a hypocrite. A person who is two-faced in these things. I would respect you if you just said, I don't give a, it is what it is. I don't give a damn about women. If you said that to me, I would respect you more than you to say, oh, I am for women's rights and I stand for women and I'm with women. And then on the other side, it's like, oh, yeah, girls need your help. These girls are actually under duress. They're under threat. They're literally being violated. And then you go, oh, well, they need to stop being bigots. I did a story on Anna Kasparian. She was on is on a channel called the Young Turks, TYT or something like that, the Young Turks. And she's predominantly been a far lefty for as long as I can remember. Even when I was a Democrat, she used to kind of get on my nerves. That whole channel, I think it was mostly Cenk. They used to get on my nerves. I guess they've kind of become more neutral or whatever it is as of recent. Anyway, I did a video on her and she's been having her own kind of conservative awakening. And the big moment for her happened where she posted or talked about the story of when she was physically assaulted by a homeless dude, and she was just sharing the story. It's like you're venting out your heart, and the responses that she got from her own audience, a bunch of lefty lunatics, was that they attacked her and said, "How dare you?" basically speak on the unhoused in such a way. That's the response that Anna got. That was an awakening for sis. Just like it was an awakening for me as a black man who was so-called, they saw themselves as an ally for me and they stood with me, etc. As soon as they saw that I deviated from their own belief structures, you're a what? A conservative? I hope they tie you up with a rope and leave you hanging on a tree. Those are the type of messages that I started to get. I know those are the more extreme ones. The day-to-day ones is, you're a sellout, you're Uncle Tom, a white supremacist, blah, 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 right? How could you think of this way? You don't even know how to think for yourself. And this is white liberals as much as, other black folks who just, their brains break. It's like they can't conceptualize. They can't even imagine or fathom a black person not being completely devoted to that democratic plantation. They simply, it's not set up in their level of consciousness, in their psyche. It's just not there. That part of their brain does not work, does not function, never has been developed. There is no way that a black person could be a conservative. Now, of course, because they don't know history, right? They only know the thing that serves them, which is to quote unquote ally themselves to an individual like myself. So they feel like, they're doing something, that little white savior complex or whatever it is. So they feel as if they have some sort of, existential purpose or whatever it may be, or simply it's just gratifying their narcissism to be needed, to be wanted, right? But whatever that reasoning is, it just breaks their brain. It completely destroys their brain. But, back to the point at hand is this really showed me. And the part that, again, I was exposed or re-exposed, because I think like truth is steadfast, but sometimes to get to it, you just like peel back layer after layer until you're just like left with the raw truth, and that's all there is. So sometimes I can delude myself. Sometimes I can allow my optimism to get in the way of looking at reality and then being optimistic, as opposed to like coming in and being like, no, I want to be optimistic, and not really seeing the full truth for what it is. So it's like, oh, well, surely everybody would want what's best for these young women. And then you see the Congress people, like the AOCs. Oh, what a show. What a circus that one is. What a damn circus that one right there is. Over there going on and on about nothing, really just making excuses as to why she is not going to vote for young women to be safe, because she cares more about being a quote unquote ally to the mentally deranged, mentally ill, mentally disturbed individuals. She cares more about protecting their feelings, well, aka getting their votes, because that's really what it's about. It's a political game. It's pandering, right? It's like Bernie Sanders. Oh, well, the rich millionaires and the billionaires and the 1%, the 1%. The 1% of the population is making $500,000 upwards. My guy, you're the 1%. Your net worth makes you well above the 1%, okay? Assets, whatever you want to put it at. If you have such a problem with it, then go ahead and, go to my Buy Me a Coffee, and you can donate me all of your money immediately. If that's how much of a problem you really have with it, then go ahead and cleanse yourself of all free market capitalism that you're benefiting from at this very moment. We will stop giving you our taxpayer dollars, and you will give the money to me. And I will redistribute the money back to me. That's how that will go. So the hypocrisy is just ridiculous, y'all. But I am thankful, again, on the light end of everything. On the light end, I am thankful that we are finally healing. We are healing. We're finally in a place where we are able to accept that it's okay to go against the bully. It's okay to push back against the propaganda. Even if they do, swear to cancel you, if you all speak out, they ain't canceling shit. I mean, we see all these companies rolling back DI, roll back. Why? Because you won't shut up anymore. Because you're over it. You're tired of it. You at your job like, can I just work? Like, why the fuck I got to put up with all this? Can I just do my damn job? I'm thinking about, whether you're brothers in construction, you goddamn doing deliveries, whatever it is you got going on. And you just think to yourself, what the fuck are these people going on about? Can we just get some common sense back? Just as simple as that? You want your plumber job? Like, come on. Well, can we just get some common decency? Just Like my girl says all the time, we just want normal. We just want regular. That's it. We're not asking to be on the far right. Nobody ever said that. That's the misconception. Is these far right. You know what's become radical nowadays? And I might make an entire video on this. What's become radical is just basic, simple, common sense. That's become far right. That's insane, y'all. That is insane. But yeah, this hypocrisy, I'm gonna continue to call it out for what it is, because it's a clown show. And like a clown car, there are many clowns that just hop out of that little ass car. Just pop, 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 pop. The AOCs, the Jasmine Crockett's, the goddamn Pocahontases, aka Warren. What's her name? Elizabeth Warren. Oh, Lord have mercy. Don't even get me started. $70 million she made in politics. How'd you get that money, Liz? Your daddy, the chief, give you that money? How'd you get that money? How'd you get that money, Pelosi? It would take you 1,500 years to make that amount of money with the paychecks that you've gotten thus far in your career. And though you look like you could be about 1,500 years old, how'd you get that money? Tell me what's really going on. Man, I appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Thank you. And if you do want to give to the cause, want to donate to the channel, make sure to jump on into my Buy Me a Coffee and show some love. But otherwise, it's love regardless. Peace.
I used to be afraid of the dark, place unknown like a heart in their heart. I used to see my life in the bar. Now the kids unchained, every shackle is lost. 2 steps in the moonlight, 2 step in the daytime. You just know when it feel right. You got a feeling the time's night. See you through those shades that I just threw on. Through my lenses, you just can't do no wrong. I fell in love with myself again. I fell in love with myself. I fell in love with the sunshine. I fell in love with the light. I fell in love with the full moon. I fell in love with the night. I can see the light again. I can see the light. You can see the life in him illuminate the night. I know the time is taking. A 3, 6, 5, that's a full rotation. I see you looking up. You know them constellations. Constantly